Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity this morning. I have a couple of announcements that I want to make before we get started. We have 3 classes that are starting this month, and first of all will be the Q process, which is starting on, January 13th for 6 Mondays. And the Q process is to change the stories that run your life. Too often our lives are limited by subconscious stories that we hold in the shadows, and we often look to make changes in the outer world when in fact the source of the experience is in our own psyche. This is an actual membership class, so you have to take 2 membership classes to become a member of Unity. One has to be a minister-taught class. This one will be taught by Steve Hayes, who's in the journey of becoming a licensed Unity teacher. And then Shad will be starting his 90% A Path to Living in True Abundance, which is starting on Saturday mornings, February 1st for 7 weeks. And that is a $10 registration. The Q process is an $85 registration, but the prosperity class that Shad's teaching is a tithing class, so that's why that one's so inexpensive. And then I am starting my women's book and discussion group, which is starting January 16th. And we meet the first and third Thursday of the month. It's a $10 registration, and it's $10 per session. And the book that we have chosen, or I have chosen, Mirabai Star, Wild Mercy. This is an incredible book, and it's an incredible journey for women to come together and talk about mothering and taking care of Mother Earth and our power as feminine beings in this world, and recognizing that there's so much beauty in what we are, and how it's such a time for women to come together and support each other and realize that, in numbers, women have an incredible voice for this world to heal this world and this planet. So if you want to join that group, then you can register for all these in the bookstore today. But the membership process is 2 membership classes, so Shad's class and the Q process are eligible. My class is not. And then it's 20 hours of tithing your time to the center, and then you'll be part of the membership ceremony that'll be coming up in the spring. We have prayer partners available to you at the end of the service if you're facing a challenge or even a joy and you want to share it. Jay is here with a white scarf that represents that she is a prayer partner, and she'll take you down to the meditation room and pray with you after the service. Okay, so we're going to start by chanting, and it will be a call and response. I will call, and Louie and Larry will respond, and you guys will follow the responding. Okay. They say to sing is to pray twice, so I encourage you to chant with us. Otherwise, if you're just feeling like you just want to close your eyes and get in the presence of this holy space, remember your true nature, that Christ within. Let the music move you in and through all of that perfection. the light within.
Coming home to the light within.
Breath of life, I bow to you.
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 Coming home 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 to you.
Om Namo Gurudeva Namo.
Namo Gurudeva Namo.
Om Namo Gurudeva Namo.
Namo Gurudeva Namo.
Coming home to the light within. 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 This is your way.
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 I bow to you.
I bow to you.
So it is. So today I'll be giving a talk that is the second talk of a 5-talk series that I'm giving right now. And I'm sharing the second one with you guys because Jack and Norma are out of town. So I'm filling in for them and hopefully it will be good. The talk title is The Ultimate 2020 Consciousness Challenge. And the series is on creating a clear plan and setting goals for long-term success in healing relationships, finances, more harmony, more joy and happiness, for planting a strong foundation for 2020. So last week I started in talking about why we have a hard time manifesting in this opulent, prosperous world. And, we know in Unity that everything is a direct reflection about how we feel about ourselves. Because if we are perfect children of God, nothing can hurt us, nothing can make us sick, and nothing can make us afraid, then the illusion that we are separate and a part of this energy, spirit, or source is what is cutting us off from the potential of being in a state of allowance of the grandeur and the wanting and the needing being fulfilled, the dreams that we've had of our lives actually coming into fruition. So last week I shared this slide from Love Without Conditions by Paul Farini, and it says it this way: eliminating scarcity thinking. How you view life depends on whether you feel lovable or unlovable, worthy or unworthy. Either way, you will create an external situation which reinforces your opinion of yourself. There's a typo there. All preoccupation with supply comes from living in the past. Lack is simply the remembrance of old wounds. These are too easily projected into the future. To end scarcity thinking, you must forgive the past. Whatever it has been no longer matters. It no longer has effect because you have released it. And so, if we're still holding on to our old wounds or our hurts from the past, from the cuts and the hurts that happened with other people, and we're still living in a state of anger or not forgiving someone or living in a state of discord, we really can't speak to the mountains and say, go aside and I'm going to overcome this limitation that I'm holding within myself, because I still am projecting that someone outside of me can create my peace and happiness in this world. And so last week, I was having kind of some fun with everyone and saying that they had 2 days to forgive everyone before 2020. But now we're past 2020, so I don't know how many were here last week, and did you get to the bottom of it and go, okay, finally, I can forgive and let go of the past, which is a much bigger process than we would like to say, but the truth is that is what the sin in this world is. In Unity, the word sin means it's the error of limited thoughts that we are holding about ourselves or someone else. That's the error that we aren't all one, and we're not all in this together. I was stating last week that, if we're going to point out the speck in someone else's eye when we have a log jam in our own, as it says in the Bible, then we're not living in the truth of this light life. So if you've never hurt anyone, if you have never betrayed someone, if you have never lied to someone, then go right ahead and keep judging them. But most likely, we've hurt someone. We've hurt someone's heart. We have betrayed people. We have made mistakes. And so therefore, the process of looking at what we're judging and harboring about another is a reflection about something we're harboring about ourselves. And that is what keeps us from co-creating with Spirit and being able to visualize something different in your life, to create a new lens, a new energy, a new vibration, where you can match Spirit and draw to you that which is knocking on the door in your life that's saying, I want something more. Sometimes people think that's their ego, that's saying, I want to finally own a house in Boulder. I want to be able to conceive a baby. I want my lover to come into my life. But all of these things are added unto you. But your scarcity and your limited belief system about yourself is keeping you from your good. because God is good. God is omniscience. We are just fragmented in our disillusion that we can't heal everything. In our physical body, in our spiritual mind, in our outpicturing process. We are manifestors. We are powerful manifestors. But if we are feeling like we're stagnating and stuck, we might need to look at what we're harboring inside of ourselves that's keeping us pinched off from this greater potential, this greater love that lives within us. God is within us. We are acting as God through us. The more we commune, the more we pray, the more we take time away from the world and what it's saying about what your life is versus remembering our true nature, remembering why we are here. Fannie Lou Hamer says, "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired." Who says that? I know parents say that because I'm a mom, and I say that a lot. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I have a 13-year-old son. I can tell that boy to put his shoes on 50,000 times before it's time to leave. And you get to the door, and he's standing there in his socks, and you just go. He was so brilliant at 9, but then the hormones came in, and it's just like, what happened to your brain, Just the basics, I think of all the stuff I have to pack up to come to work from Lions, to get them off to school, their backpacks, and their lunches have to be made, and all the things I have to have here to show up for my career and my life, and you just can't get your stinking shoes on, It's like the thing that breaks the camel's back every morning before school. But if we are stuck and we feel like we've tried everything and nothing will give, this is the time we need to start praying before bed, asking for signs, writing a gratitude journal, putting out to the universe. You need an awakening. You need that moment where time stops and you remember this ethereal realm that's divinely guiding and directing every aspect of life. Everybody's had that moment. Like, let's look back in your life. And that moment where it was so clear, something bigger, something brighter, something so alive that you could taste it, you could feel it, and time stopped. All of a sudden, the world was not anything, and you were a part of the spiritual realm and so divinely rooted and connected for that moment. And then we spend the rest of our life trying to get back to that moment, right? We felt it, tasted it, but then why was it fleeting? Why doesn't it last? Why doesn't it stay in the midst of us, right? And I think that's that, it's just, you just get that a little bit at a time because you have to make this a practice. This practice is not something that we just show up on Sundays. It's a daily making it first to connect with this divine energy, whatever you call it. It's all the same thing. You can call it spirit, source, nature, God, Allah. It's all this omnipresence that's divinely for us always. The only reason why things are not unfolding in the way that you're intuitively being told that it should be unfolding is because you are not connecting in the silence. You've signed up for the pace of this world. You're looking at your Facebook, you're looking at your phone, you're looking at your email. Everybody can get us and distract us. But until we get in control of, I really do want to be happy this year. I really do want to live in peace. I want to take in this subtle beauty that's in every minute of every day. I want to no longer be captive to the speed of the world. I want to step out of that. I want to commune with Spirit. I want to meditate every day. I want to say thank you at night and remember what it is that I'm grateful for. So I may then open myself up to more wonderful things happening in my life to be grateful for. So when we're looking to the world to fulfill us, to the next job, to this distant day when I'm thin enough or I'm pretty enough or I'm, just this outer-directed thing that something outside of us is going to make us happy, we're looking through a lens of the little mouse. The little mouse, like the whole world is overwhelming us. It's all happening to me, and I can't stop this rat race. I can't get off this treadmill. I can't. And that is Spirit saying, get off the treadmill. Start asking some powerful questions for yourself, like, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling stressed out. I'm feeling anxiety, depression, all the things that are taking people down in this country and in this world. And turn inward and ask things like, what is trying to emerge in my life right now? What is my gift to share? What is my purpose? Why am I here on this planet? There will be, when we ask these powerful questions, there will be a prompting, an intuitive hit, nudges, signs, symbols. It will come in the individual soul's way. It's whatever you've learned is the way Spirit talks to you. For me, it's dreams. I get very clear dreams about well, they're not clear. I've just learned how to move through them and figure out, what the heck was that about? Okay. But I do have a dream journal next to my bed because within a minute or two it disappears. You lose some really important details. And it's fun to look back at like around noon after you wrote down and you go, oh, I missed that. That is what this was about. That's what it was prompting me to do. But when we are in difficult situations, we are asking disempowering questions, which is also creating more disempowering experiences because the law of attraction is real. And what we're harboring vibrationally, what we're holding in the mind, is just drawing more of that onto us. So we ask questions like, why me? Why does this always happen to me? Who's to blame here? No, you are to blame. Someone else has got to be to blame here, because it certainly is not me. Right? But when we're on a spiritual path, we're not here to figure out what is wrong with someone else. We're here to discover where we're cutting ourselves off from Spirit. What is creating these disagreements and this discord between others? The only one that we can harbor any sort of control over is our own consciousness. How we feel about ourselves. How we speak to ourselves. Sometimes the biggest bully in our life is us to ourselves. We're not living up to some potential of, I don't know. It's not enough. It's not enough. You can't, I know that I pick on myself a lot. If I don't show up and I'm rocking it 100% in everything that I do, I bully myself for a day or two afterwards. I'm better at stopping myself now because I realize that that's some sort of needing to be perfect. And perfection is an illusion. Being perfect is an illusion. But doing the best you can is not. So when you ask an empowered question, you rise above the muck. And you're looking from this angle at your life. You can take it from a spiritual, powerful position to realize that I can connect with this greater something. In all these fragments of my life, all these pieces of my life that are working, not working, sort of working, if I realize that there is this greater potential, this greater light, there's a lens that I can look through that is compassion and love, integrity, kindness. Just a constant source of energy, of spirit just moving through me. I just have to show up and ask God, where will you have me be? How will you show up How do you want me to show up? Speak through me, Spirit, with whatever situation I'm with, and I let go of control, this human world control, and I give it to God. And know that this greater something will always do a better job through me than this limited, monkey mind chattered brain that talks us out of being brilliant, talks us out of being magic, tells us we don't have enough time to show up for something that is calling us to be Christ-like. You know, I saw a post on Facebook from somebody that goes to this church, and it said something, it was like a few days after New Year's Day, and it said something like, this negative thing happened, and this negative thing happened, and it looks like now World War III is about to start. So 2020 is not looking that great. It's like, how do you sit in this center and are you not learning anything? Like, energetically, do you realize that you're adding to the discord of this world vibrationally? When you're looking to point out that already 3 days into this year, it's already bad? Like, really think about that. Because we're much more comfortable to have negative conversations with others. Did you know that? We ask people how they are. Well, I'm doing okay. I'm getting over a flu. Oh, you have a sniffle. Are you not feeling good? We point out like the illness that's happening to someone. Instead of meeting everything from this powerful, integrated spiritual energy and knowing that I am a co-creator with God, I am actually part of the consciousness that's happening in this world. So what am I bringing to it? What am I bringing to this universe? Don't we want to see the change in this world that we want to see, but yet you don't have days off or hours off from this potential, especially in the state of our climate at this time. There's no coincidence that we're all here at this time. Yeah, you can get really down when you look at the outer picture of this world and this planet, for sure. But this greater potential, this greater love, what are we meeting everybody with? We're here to remind them of the powerful co-creators that they are. We're here to stop showing up from the little mouse point of view, but recognize there's something greater for us to discover about the power that lives within each and every one of us. So this is the time that you will learn about manifestation, is when you ask the big questions. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Even if it's not something even bigger than just sharing unconditional love with everyone that we meet with. But when we are saying, Spirit, where will you have me be? What will you have me say? That is when the manifestation starts happening, when we get out of our own way and we're of service as a vibrational being. All of a sudden, books will pop out of your bookshelves. That happens to me all the time in my office. You know, like right now, for instance, Jack and Norma and Shad and Erna, they're all on vacation this week. And if you saw the Christmas show that we put on, I haven't had a break in any way, shape, or form. And now I have to do 3 sermons on a weekend. It was like, I'm not abandoned here. I have nothing to give either. But I do, right? Because I'm endless energy. I'm endless spiritual energy. But when I felt like there was nothing to write, I walked in my office and there's the book. Just peeking out, like, here you go. I'm here with you. Don't worry. Just let it go. Everything that's sort of percolating in you, this book, you're going to open this page and you're going to know, I'm with you. I'm supporting you. I'm writing this sermon through you anyways. Don't worry. Just let it go, Syntysche. I got this. Quit thinking it's you that has to do all this. I'm right here. I'm doing all this through you. Thank you for being open, Syntysche, to write this sermon for me. So when we personally go into prayer and meditation, we're connecting with this eagle view, this silent understanding, and it doesn't come in words, it doesn't come in the ways that we think it would. It comes in a feeling, in an essence, in a subtlety. But we don't feel those knocks and those signs and those hints because it's so subtle. You can only find it in the silence. But when I commune with God, and you commune with God, then we commune together. That is the essence of community. That's why community is so important. Did anyone ever take communion in church as a kid? Drinking the blood of God or eating the body? It just makes you feel warm and squishy, right? It just makes you feel connected to God. Or does it? We sit in the sanctuary and we feel true communion. Because our relationship with God is about oneness, not separation. The separation has got to end between colors, sex, all of it, everything that we are. We are all one, and we're all made perfect in the image and likeness of God. And together, we are a force to be reckoned with. So us separating and churches kind of not doing as well as they used to because they can get it online, they can do this, they can do that to feel connected to God, but it is us together. That is true. Communion is to be able to be reflecting to one another why we are here, what is unfolding for me, and let me share it with a like-minded person. That's why my women's groups are so powerful and do so well here, because women, I feel in a way we've been taught to talk about each other and not love one another and to think that we're in competition with each other. And I just simply want to end that. And our group is huge. Like, we had to separate it in big circles because I think all of us women are thirsty for that community and to share a powerful book. And we cry, we talk, we share the cuts and the breaks and the things that make us feel less than. And we hold each other and we love each other. And it's an incredible, powerful process, these women's groups, what's happening in them. We're participating in the unfoldment of one another. We're recognizing God through us, and we also recognize that even the cuts and the hurts that we've experienced are also God. Everything is happening for us. Unfortunately, we find God in the darkest, hardest places of our lives, because we finally fall to our knees and we say, "What? What are you asking of me? I can no longer have things fall away that I'm attached to. But it's just in that moment of, why, God? Please help me." The simple asking, that's all God was asking, was to stop looking at all these things that are falling away. How many things have to fall away before you recognize this is for you? To learn about the truth of your being. The raw, subtle, powerful being that you were put here to do and be. In Genesis 1:3, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And seeing that the light was good, God separated the light from the darkness. When we are in a state where life is not going well, we can start to believe that our good is behind us and it has left us. But the more difficult things are, it's piling up. There's so many things that are going on, and you can't even grasp why all of this is happening. If you innately knew that this is the greatest catapult that's happening in your life for awakening, It's in the falling away of the outer attachments of life. It's friendships, it's homes going bye-byes, it's businesses, it's jobs, it's marriages. All these things are the worst things in the world to happen. But I always want to say to people, I can't wait to see the light that is about to dawn in your life if you are willing to let it. Grasping and trying to hold things back in your life that are limited and are no longer a part of your life, even if it's things that you're extremely attached to. That attachment and that grasping is keeping you disconnected from this greater something that is birthing in your life. Something anew is birthing in your life. And it cannot serve in this limited life that you're living in right now. I have a friend who, I think it was like 5-10 years ago, who attends this church, and she went through a very rough time where she and her husband, the love of her life, were about to launch this vitamin company that was backed by big-time names. And when this thing launched, they were going to be multi-millionaires. Everything was unfolding before them. It was an incredible time. Her husband was in his late 40s. He had designed this whole thing, and I won't say the companies that were behind it to financially support this thing, but it was infomercials, it was everything. I mean, it was unbelievable what was happening in their life, and she kept getting a hit that he needs to insure this company. Like, he's not got insurance around it. He was being a little bit irresponsible. He was just really researching the insurance that would protect the company, and she kept saying, I feel like you need to get life insurance. He's like, I'm 48 years old. This guy was like a superstar person in his physique and everything, working out all this, and she's getting hits and hits and hits. But he doesn't listen to her, and he dies of a massive heart attack. And in that moment, she lost absolutely everything. Her home, her cars, the love of her life, absolutely everything. She had no career, she had nothing, and ended up surfing on people's couches for over a year in the greatest devastation and loss of the love of her life. And got to the point, her children were grown, they weren't there to help her, nobody could help her, and finally the last couch, there was nowhere for her to stay anymore. And she said to me that all of her life, one of her greatest fears was being homeless. And look at that. You have to be very careful about what you harbor your greatest fear as being, because that has a lifeline in this universe. We will draw to ourselves our greatest fears if we do not heal. Those fears, they're powerful. That's a powerful energy, and the law of attraction will meet you there. But that day, she had nowhere to stay. And she was a spiritual meditating person, and she went to a park from sun up, and she sat there and she told Spirit, I just want to be beamed up. I'm done. Everything I love is gone. And I'm at peace, God. Like, I really am. I can't live like this anymore. I want you to beam me up, or you have to help me. And she sat in that park all day watching people biking by, and she was done. Her life was over. And that evening, it was dark and it was cold. She had not a car to sleep in, and her phone rang. And it was her sister-in-law. And her sister-in-law says, you're never going to believe what happened. And she says, what happened? And she said, her husband had come to his sister in a dream the night before and said, I need you to take the last $50 that you have right now, and I need you to play a lottery ticket. I need you to go buy one. And the sister also had no money either, and this was literally her last $50. And he said, and you have to take care of, I'm not going to give the name of this woman that I'm talking about right now. You have to take care of her, but you've got to go spend your last $50 and go buy a lottery ticket. And she said, and you know what? I won $1 million. This, I swear to God, happened. Well, this woman sat and she was testing God, like, I'm literally done. And even though the sister-in-law didn't give her half, which was my first question, she gave her enough to get her life back 100% on her feet. And now she is with a new husband. They literally own a house on Pearl Street, like literally Pearl Street is their address. They're so prosperous and unbelievable, but she thought her good had left her. But something was being birthed in her. Her faith in God was, I'm going to sit here until you help me change this. Let's go into meditation. So just get comfortable in your seat and close your eyes. As we go on this journey together of letting go and inviting in thoughts will come and go, we're going to quiet the mind chatter as much as we possibly can and be gentle on ourselves. Allow the thoughts to drift away and come back to center when you notice that you have moved from peaceful place. Just focus on your breath and make an intention for yourself right now. Something that sparked something in your spirit today. Make a commitment for yourself in this moment. An invitation for you to meditate. Noticing your thoughts and reactions to this intention. Abundance is the existence of infinite possibility. And reality within resources, opportunity, wealth, love, vision, expansion, kindness, generosity, respect. And the flow of all these to and from our lives without attachment. No more grasping, but absolute faith and trust that God has your back. What is being called in your life right now? Why are you here on this planet at this time? What is Spirit asking for you to show up for? And what needs healing at this time? Call it out and let Spirit take it from you. What if the word abundance came before all of your favorite words? Abundant love, abundant health, abundant wellness, abundant children, abundant pleasure, abundant wealth, abundant opportunities, abundant possibilities, abundant vision, abundant creativity, abundant desires, abundant rest, abundant knowledge, abundant resources, abundant generosity, abundant time, abundant nutrition. And we're going to go in the silence for 5 minutes. I am the resonance of spirit. I am healed. I am loved. I am receptive, Spirit. I am open. I am listening. I'm remembering who I truly am. I'm in gratitude So it is. Amen. We'll take an offering for unity now. While we're getting our offerings together, I just want to remind you that Unity is 100% supported by the tithes of the people that attend this place. Just to remember that as you're in the process of learning how to give and receive equally. That's in consciousness, that's in the physicality of life. That's how church centers survive. And with that said, let's take our offerings in our hands and bless it with this offering statement. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. Together, please. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give.